We are almost close. It is a birthday of one of our star Toastmaster, Hemal Kundra. And it also happens to be the World Heart Day. Good evening, Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The World Heart Day was indeed on the 29th of September. It was concluded by doctors recently, here and abroad, that there is only so much that they can do to curb this lifestyle disease, when actually the cure of this lies with the patients themselves. According to World Heart Federation, 17.3 million people die each year due to heart disease, which makes cardiovascular disease, also commonly known as CVD, the highest killer globally. And UAE too rates as one of the highest countries in the CVD division. But today I'm going to touch upon one of those subjects which leads to heart disease, that is hypertension. So now, what is hypertension? Hypertension is a scientific word for high blood pressure. When the heart beats, it pumps blood through the body, arteries. As the blood circulates through the arteries, it exerts force on the wall of these arteries. The force exerted is measured by the way of blood pressure. How does hypertension develop? There is no known factor for hypertension, but there are certain elements which contribute towards its development. Some of them are as follows: the 3 S's. One of the stress, smoking, and excessive intake of salt. Second one is being overweight or obese, which is quite common in this part of the world. Third one is lack of physical activity, again a common factor in this part of the world. Excessive intake of alcohol. And finally, family history of blood pressure. So let me give you my personal experience on hypertension. Before I could move to the Middle East, I used to be a lot active in different types of sports. But after moving to the Middle East, my lifestyle changed 360 degrees. As a result, I started living a very sedentary lifestyle. I rarely walked. And as a result, I started gaining weight. At some point, my weight grew up. I reached up to almost 90 kgs, as opposed to what I am today, 70 kgs. Once I fell ill during that time. Usually I don't visit the doctors for any common cold or flu. But this time it was very severe, so I decided to go and see a general physician. So I still remember this gentleman's name, Dr. Gauri Shankar. He seemed to be an easygoing guy, with his glasses resting on the edge of his nose. The first time when he saw me, he looked at me from above his glasses and said, "How are you?" And I said, "I'm fine, doctor," even though I know I was not fine. Then the next question he asked me is, "Does anyone like your family members have heart disease?" And I said, "Yes and no." Yes, because my mother is a diabetic and she has got blood pressure. No, because my father doesn't. Then he started probing deep into my family history and into my lifestyle. And all this time I was sitting there, discomfort, thinking that this doctor seems to be asking me every other thing other than what I have come here. So finally I said, "Doctor, what about my cold and fever?" Again he gave me that look and said, "Don't worry, I will prescribe you some medicine which should make you feel better in a couple of days' time." Then finally he reached the conclusion that I should be doing a complete health checkup on a SOS basis. So when the reports came, I was shocked. I always took pride in myself of being a sports person. And now I can see that my cholesterol levels were high My blood pressure was high. My sugar levels were hovering around the borderline. The doctor asked me to go on a strict diet and do a regular 30 minutes walk. Minutes of walk every day. Initially, it was difficult for me, but then I had to put that extra effort and start that mantra of keep calm and do your exercise. So I've been doing this 30 minutes of exercise every day, even till today. I also had to change my food habits because of my high level of cholesterol and blood pressure. And today I can proudly say that, the breakfast is never complete without having a banana. So my dear Toastmasters and guests, when was the last time did you visit a clinic for a complete health checkup? When is the last time you all felt lethargy and procrastinated your visit to the doctor? Let me tell you, I was fortunate to have met Dr. Gauri Shankar, who made me believe that hard choice is after all not a hard choice. But think about it. In this ever demanding and stressful world, the only thing that we need to invest in is our health. Always remember, health is wealth. Over to you.